All right, welcome to another episode of Y&T and Friends Vinyl Talk. I'm Brian Foster. Today, I have a very special guest with me, Mr. Mike Stone. How you doing, Mike?
Howdy, folks. Doing good, doing good.
Good.
How about you?
Doing well, thank you. Um, for those of you who know Mike, you're probably a Kiss collector. If you do, Mike has a incredible channel, the Kiss US vinyl reference page that I think I've watched every episode at least 3 or 4 times, going through making sure my collection is complete as possible. Not close to Mike's, but it's slowly getting there. But we are not going to talk Kiss today.
Nope.
Nope, and we're not going to talk Y&T. So we are going to talk about Iron Maiden, and in particularly the Powerslave album from I believe it was released in September of '84. A lot of
Sounds
releases,
about right.
a lot of releases in September, especially for us Kiss fans, right?
Yeah, I think that ends up being like a fiscal year within a record company.
Yeah,
I think starts and ends in September. And I is yeah, especially like in the Kiss world, there are a bunch of September releases. But yeah, I want to say, if I remember right, there's a bunch of Maiden releases in September also. I've
yeah,
got
I
that
think,
all on my phone
yeah, I
somewhere.
think
But
too. Yeah, it sounds right. That's the probably end of their third quarter, starting their fourth quarter, October,
yeah,
November, December. Then you got Christmas coming up too, so you got to get that album out. Especially those times when people are actually buying the records and giving them out to make sure that they're out from Christmas time. But
right.
um, yeah, a couple other quick facts, before we get into it here. I was looking, that this album actually made it to 21 on the Billboard Top 200, which
Yeah.
is pretty good. Not as good as um, its predecessor, Peace of Mind. I think Peace of Mind went to 14, but Powerslave 21. That's pretty good for a metal album in '84.
Oh, yes. Especially, good God, look at the competition Powerslave had in '84. Ride the Lightning, Last in Line, Defenders of the Faith. I mean, it had some stiff competition in
Yep.
1984 for sure.
Yeah, there was a lot of great music in '84. I do remember.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Two singles off this album, and we'll get into those: Aces High and 2 Minutes to Midnight.
Yep.
Also, two music videos, '84,
Mm-hmm.
that actually did play a lot on MTV. I do remember watching, getting to see those after school quite a bit. We can talk about those too. But Mike, just kind of why don't you give us a little bit of background of one, how you got into Iron Maiden? I know you're a little bit younger than me, just a
Yeah.
little bit.
A little bit.
Um, but how you got into Maiden, and then in particular, if you remember the first time that you got to listen to Power Slave.
Sure. So with Maiden, let's see. I was born in '81, so we'll date myself right out of the bat there. I joke around. I came out 5 days after Killers did. So anyway, uh, I grew up around my grandparents and everything, country western all over the house. That's kind of where I was in the beginning, and somebody had slipped me a little 90-minute TDK that said Black Sabbath on the label, and
Nice.
that kind of started me down another path. And then, just kind of getting into harder and harder rock. I was 8 years old when I got the Black Sabbath cassette. Uh, oh, then of course came Van Halen, which changed me again, and then of course Ozzy solo stuff, Metallica. And I remember I was in, it was like a bowling alley or something, some random place in the early 90s. And I remember seeing this bandana up on the wall, and it was the artwork for the Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
And I had never heard of Iron Maiden before. I seen that artwork, and I was just like, it grabbed me, you know, kind of. You hear people tell that story about Kiss's Destroyer, and I didn't know it was a band. And then like I would visit my mom's sister's place, and the guy she was with, he was a Maiden fan. So, you know, I'd be 11, 12 years old flipping through his record collection. I'd come across, you know, Peace of Mind and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son and all this, and Powerslave. And I think he had everything up to that point except for Killers on vinyl.
Yeah.
And one day we was watching it was Headbangers Ball on MTV. It was right before the ball went out, and Run to the Hills came on the video, and I thought it was so silly and so goofy, but you know, I wasn't interested in the video at all, but just that gallop, I was hooked. And I started really getting into them around 94, 95. It was after Bruce left. That's kind of where I jumped in, was the pay-per-view. What do they call that? Raising Hell. It was his final concert that they did with that magician guy. That's kind of where I came in.
Got it.
And of course, you know, during the interim without Bruce, you had the Blaze period, and nothing was really going on with Maiden. I started getting heavily into the back catalog. And the first Maiden album that I bought was Number of the Beast. And then I think it was Peace of Mind, Powerslave, and then Live After Death. And I got the Live After Death video. And I mean, I bet you I watched that thing every day for like 2 years straight. I mean, I'd be hard pressed to find something in that video now that I don't know.
Yeah.
But just that stage setup and all of that really drew me towards the Powerslave album. And then I started getting into vinyl around 96, 97. And I was collecting Kiss and I was collecting Maiden. And the first copy I got of Powerslave was the picture disc from the UK.
Yeah.
Of course, on that one, if you listen to it, you get to the other side during the song Powerslave, it just randomly speeds up for no reason. And like, it's just like you flipped it on 45 RPM or something, then it kicks back down. And then I got a proper album of it that had the textured cover and all that. And having the vinyl, you know, you could see all these little details on the cover, like, you know, little bitty messages in the hieroglyphs and stuff like that. And then reading the Dead Wax, which I forget what Powerslave had. It was, I think, only one and that's fuck 'em or something like that. They always put like little messages in the Dead Wax on the records. But I mean, it as far as music goes, you know, by the time I got into Maiden, I had been playing guitar for a while, and I was trying to learn Maiden stuff, and it was I was just a rhythm guy before that. You know, I wasn't Eddie Van Halen, unfortunately. You know, might have been somewhere between Johnny Ramone and Hetfield at the time, but you know, I was learning how to play that stuff, and it was actually teaching me stuff at the same time, learning all this theory and stuff with the harmonies. And I mean, for that time period, that was like Maiden's high water mark as far as layering stuff on top of stuff. You know, you take a song like The Duelist, they've got a harmony run playing and then another separate harmony run playing on top of it. and then they go into a trade-off solo, and then back into a harmony run. I mean, just trying to learn all that crap when I was, 16, 17 years old, that kept me going for a while. And gosh, I think at one point, I think the only song I couldn't play on that album was Back in the Village.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's just kind of a weird riff, but yeah, I mean, that's just where they kind of took that harmony thing as far as they could go. And then pretty much everything after that was just kind of recycling, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've always considered Powerslave their high water mark.
It is a great album. Yeah. So I guess since you dated yourself, I'll date myself. I was born late '69, so a little bit older. Um, so my intro to Maiden was actually the Run to the Hills video on MTV.
Oh,
So yeah, I back, but back in '84, the video wasn't that silly because that's all the videos were kind of like that. So
right.
you look at them now, yeah, absolutely, but and in '82, that's not silly at all. But yeah, when I heard Run to the Hills, I was like, wow, who's this? And I finally at the end of the video, I see it's Iron Maiden, and I was like, oh yeah, because at school, we had the guys at school that had the jean jackets and all the patches on, right? And I remember
Right.
seeing Iron Maiden patches on some of them, and I'm like, huh. So yeah, so I don't know how long it took me to get the cassette of Number of the Beast, but got that, and really liked that album. And then when Peace of Mind came out, got that when it came out. So when Powerslave came out, got that in real time. September, maybe it was for Christmas, I don't know, but close to release date that year. And actually first time I saw Iron Maiden live was on this tour, March of '85, which was absolutely incredible.
And I wish I could have caught that tour.
Yeah, that was a good one. Wasp opened actually here
Nice.
for them at the time on their debut album. But they actually played 4 songs from this album on that tour. So obviously the two singles, and they had to do Powerslave, and they did Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which 5 times you seen it?
No, there's a fifth song off of Powerslave. It's a B-side though.
Oh, that they played live?
Yeah, so they played. I forget which single it is. It's one of the Live After Death singles. I can't remember if it's Running Free or Run to the Hills, but Lost for Words is a B-side.
Oh, that's right.
I'm pretty sure that was
Part of that set list.
yeah, I think that was from the Hammersmith shows. So
Got it.
side 1, 2, and 3 on the album were Long Beach, and side 4 was Hammersmith.
I don't know if they played. I have to go back and look at the set list, but I don't know if they played that here. But yeah, that I did forget about that one. So, all right, well we can let's kind of talk about it. So
Sure.
I do have showed this earlier, but this is a first pressing. Does have that textured
Yeah.
Cover on there from EMI or Capitol Records here in the States, and of course the inner sleeve with the picture there, and you get all the tracks there and everything, and the one of those where it's got
2 custom labels.
Yeah, it's a little faded there.
Yeah, it's hard to see because of the blue also.
And then the back doesn't have any written information.
No.
Just that sign there. So, but yeah, I mean, this album kicks off with, that riff for Aces High, man. And it's just like, it gets you going right from the start.
Right off the bat. Yeah. Yeah, I wish that, I kind of coming into it from reverse like I did. My version of Ace's Eye starts off with Winston Churchill's speech.
Right.
That's the way the video starts.
Yep.
It's even to this day when I drop the needle on Powerslave, it's just weird for it to go straight into Ace's High without that speech.
Yep.
And I made an edit somewhere where I added that speech to the front, but yeah, I always loved World War II stuff. So Ace's High was right up my alley. When I was a little kid, I loved airplanes and stuff like that, even though I'm terrified of flying. Never been on one. I loved all the Air Force stuff. So World War II and all that, seeing all that footage was just right up my alley. And then, of course, I'm watching the band footage too, trying to see how they're doing stuff.
Yep. Now you always get a history lesson when you listen to a Maiden album. So absolutely. So yeah, I mean that's just it's a phenomenal song. It's it's only 4:31, so it's a short Maiden song, right? I think this whole album is almost 56 minutes or something like that, which
yeah, and a quarter of it's one song.
Yeah, for an album back in '84, that's a long time. But yeah, then the video for Ace's High, little footage. I'll drop a little footage in there, the video, but. You get a little band action on stage there, along with all the planes and diving over and bombing everything. So kind of a cool thing.
My only gripe about the video is it didn't really give the scope of the stage set.
Yeah,
and maybe they didn't want to give that away. I don't know, but that in 2 minutes, I'm pretty sure were filmed the same day. And neither one of them really gave anything away on the stage.
Yeah, no, because that tour started pretty quickly after the album came out. I think like maybe a month after the album came out, the tour started, if not even sooner. So overseas. So yeah, I mean, you wouldn't take long to figure out what the stage looked like,
right,
back then. But second song, right into another great one, the 2 Minutes to Midnight.
Yes, that riff there was one of the first Maiden riffs I ever learned. I mean, there's something to be said about a simple riff, and I've said this. You take a riff like Smoke on the Water or Iron Man. It's simple, but it's effective.
Yeah, it's extremely effective.
And
you never forget it.
No, you don't. And 2 minutes is just that perfect kind of riff. It kind of fits in. Was it? I think No Class from Motorhead's kind of in that same key. I think Metallica's Hit the Lights is in that same key. I mean, it's just right there.
Yep, and you get Nico with his drums in that first part there too. They get the
yeah, and then the slower part during the solo, that was kind of one of the first solos that I actually learned from Maiden, because it's a little on the simpler side, and just being able to lock in eventually with it. And good Lord, I could probably go to sleep and play that damn thing now. It's been played it for so long.
Yeah. A little different video for 2 Minutes on Midnight. again, they're on stage, they're stage performance, but house in the UK somewhere, with like some butlers and some other people around, and I don't know. It's
You
kind of a
know,
strange video.
they reissued that Live After Death DVD. They've kind of doing the history stuff there for a minute,
Yeah.
and it seemed like in that DVD that Dickinson was saying, he had, because obviously the band wasn't around when they were filming all that stuff,
Right.
but he was watching the video, and it turns out that where the house that they were filming all that in was a place that he was renting when back in like the Samson days.
Oh, really?
It was the same house.
Huh.
He was just looking at it. He's like, that's where I was, So
Interesting. That's kind of cool. Then we got an instrumental, which this, if I remember correctly, the first with Bruce in the band, right? I think the last one was on Killers, if I'm
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Yeah. So third song instrumental. What do you think about that?
Uh, I like it. It was just another tool for me to learn harmonies with, and I didn't have vocals getting in my way. Learning some of the guitar stuff underneath it. I always kind of like the songs that start off with a Nico count in, because I mean he always does something goofy. It's just never a straight 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I like it so much like that, but and it's it's not a super fast one like Genghis Khan was on
No.
Killers. Good Lord. I still have to, I've been playing that song for 25 years now. I still have to watch what I'm doing to get through Genghis Khan, but Lost for Words is just kind of a medium tempo. I could just hammer right through it. And I kind of like the medium tempo
Yeah.
stuff too. It doesn't always have to be fast.
I like the song. You know, to me, I mean, I'm a vocal guy more than an
Yeah.
instrumental guy, but so I mean, I think it's a great sound to it. I think easily could have been some lyrics thrown on there to make it better, but I get it. You got to have those those every once in a while. Who knows? Steve didn't want it or didn't feel anything maybe that they wrote was worked with it. So um, I get it. Not a problem with it. And then we got a Dickinson song here, "Flash of the Blade." So I'm assuming that has to do something with some
Fencing.
fencing there.
Yeah, I don't really understand all the terminology that he uses in that song, but I figure he knows what he's talking about. So right on. And it's kind of along the same lines as it's on Peace of Mind, Sun and Steel.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Another fast song and a really fast harmony to learn how to play, and uh, I that's pretty close to one of my favorites on Powerslave is Flash of the Blade.
Yeah, no, it's a good song. Definitely
Uh,
a good song.
Avenged Sevenfold, they did a cover of it. It was all right, but I mean,
Yeah, I did read that they did a cover. I don't think I've ever heard it.
yeah, Bruce's voice was at I think the peak in
Oh
that
yeah.
period. You
Yeah.
wasn't going to touch him.
Nope. Nope. Not and unfortunately now Bruce, kind of like Paul, right? He can't can't do that these days.
I think Bruce's voice overall, he's figured out how to make it work.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get way up there and
No.
hallowed or something like that, but he's figured out how to make what he's got work. And
Yeah.
overall, I think he's probably the most seasoned in
Yeah.
from
I don't
that
know.
generation.
Something about the 80s that everybody had to Everybody had to hit those high notes.
Yeah.
Now, now it's definitely harder to do as you get older. Um, one of my favorites on here, the Duelist, is next.
Yes.
That's just, I don't know. That, again, just chugging along there, and
Yeah, that whole middle section.
yeah,
That's a song within a song there.
yeah,
Like I said earlier, you got one harmony part going, and then you got another one on top of it. And then they go into a solo and back into the harmony, and then ride it out. It's like, yeah, they either had like a bunch of song ideas that they just crammed together, or something. It's like, I want these parts on the album somewhere. We're just going to tag it on to something.
yeah, but it works.
It works great.
It
I
works.
don't think they ever played it live. I wish they would, but I understand they need 4 guitar players to do it.
Well, they got 3 now, so
Yeah,
they might be close to doing it. Who knows? And then finishing off side 1, Back in the Village. So
uh,
not your
if
favorite.
if there's a weak spot on the album for me, it's that one. It's not that I don't like it. It's just it's weird to me. Uh, I mean, every album I think has a weird song from Maiden, but yeah, Back to the Village, I couldn't really connect with it lyrically. I couldn't connect with it musically. I never really tried to learn it. I don't know. It just never really did anything for me, I guess.
Yeah. It's a good track. It's a good track. I mean, I like it. It's definitely not top of this album for sure. There's a lot. Most of the songs are better on here. I mean, I think I'd like to listen to it just because it has vocals than Lost for words, but otherwise, those side 1 closers sometimes are not the best.
Right.
So, all right, before we go to side 2 here, and Mike's gonna get mad at me because this one's still sealed.
Ah.
This was the re-release in 2015 when they did the
Yeah,
whole.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. So I mean, I already have the original that I play
Yeah.
if I go to play
Yeah.
it. So
An oddball one. They redid everything on CD in '98.
yes,
So there's several programming errors with the catalog on these CDs.
the
Uh,
Powerslave intro.
yeah, it's tacked on to the end of Back in the Village. So if
Yep.
you skip ahead to 7, which is Powerslave, it's
You
just
won't hear it.
right into it. Yeah. But Peace of Mind had a weird edit. I think like most of the ending of The Trooper was tacked on to Still Life. I don't know if they ever got any of those fixed or not, but
Yeah.
thankfully I have editing software and I was able to rip it and make it all right.
There you go. One other quick little tidbit here before we go to side 2 that I was noticing too, little um tie to reminded me of Kiss was this album was mixed at Electric Lady Studios.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, and just being a Kiss guy, right? Electric Lady's a big part of the Kiss history.
Yeah. It was recorded in, what was that, Nassau? I think.
Bahamas, yeah, Bahamas. And then yeah, Martin Birch did what, three Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, in this one, plus more, right?
He did from Killers to Fear of the Dark.
Yeah.
And maybe the 2 live albums after Fear, Real Live and Real Dead. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think they got another producer till the Blaze
Blaze
era.
era. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, we go to side 2,
Mm-hmm.
and we got. Oh, let's see here. That doesn't seem right. Oh yeah, I skipped ahead. Back of the Village kicked off side two.
Yeah, I was going to say I
Yeah,
could have swore
I
on
screwed
mine.
up.
Yeah, back in the village came across on side two.
Yeah, I just remember the side one was loaded. So
Yeah,
all right, so side two kicks off with Back to the Village, and then you get the title track, Powerslave. Personally, Powerslaves might be my favorite song on this album. Just that chorus kicks in like that. That's just, oh man, that's
yeah.
ultimate Maiden right there.
From the Live After Death video, because I saw it before I actually had the Powerslave album. You know, that's where Eddie came on, you know, the big mummy.
Yeah.
Bruce had that weird mask thing, all the pyro going off on stage. It was definitely an exciting song for me. So yeah, when I got the album, I was excited to hear it. And you know, and of course in the chorus there's extra vocals in the background, which made it
Yep.
even more pleasing to my ear.
Yep.
I'm kind of a nerd for production stuff like that, layering and whatnot. But and I am kind of a nerd for, you know, the whole Egyptian thing. So it was hearing like the Eye of Horus and all this stuff, you know.
Yeah. It yeah, it's an incredible cover. I mean, the artwork on there is just amazing. But you know, most Maiden albums, you know, that
Oh,
artwork you can stare at for days. So but yeah, I just Power Slave to me is just one that I know it's, you know, it's a 7 minute song, so you know it's not going to get played on radio very much. But I think that was a kind of a I mean, I've seen them do it obviously that first tour, and they did it. Can't remember what other tour I saw. I mean, I've only seen them like 6 times. So
uh, it
uh,
was Somewhere Back in Time tour. It was what,
yeah,
20?
88. No,
No, that was made in England.
yeah,
It
86,
well, let's see.
86, 87.
I don't think they did Powerslave on the Somewhere in Time tour.
No,
They did the Somewhere Back in Time, which was one of their history tours in like 2010
that might be the other one I saw. Yeah,
ish, because they
yeah,
brought back the Powerslave stage. But
yeah.
I think they played it in '99 also when Bruce and Adrian first rejoined.
Joined.
Matter
Gotcha.
of fact, I'm sure it's a live version of it as a B side to the Wicker Man single, I think.
Gotcha. Yeah, I to me it's just it's an incredible track that I just you know, I love Aces High, I love 2 Minutes to Midnight, you know, those singles and stuff, but I'd probably rank Power Slave my favorite on this album.
My favorite's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, um at the time it was the longest song in Iron Maiden's catalog, but
Yeah,
they decided to top themselves 10 years ago when they did
yeah, with the Empire of the Clouds.
yeah. But what 1345, the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which is based off a poem from Samuel Taylor Coleridge
Yep.
back in the late 17, early 1800s. Again, a history lesson for everybody.
A long history lesson.
But you talk about you know, the Duelist kind of being maybe a couple of songs put together. I mean, to me, there's 3 songs
Oh yeah,
in
easily.
here.
And you know, I had heard some phrases from this song long before I ever heard the song. You know, the whole water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink thing. You know, I just thought that was, you know, a Southern expression or something like that. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that was, you know, actual poetry. Yeah. Well, once I started digging into the lyrics on this, I was like, oh, okay, that's where that comes from.
yeah, yeah. Leave it to Steve, right?
Right.
To come up with that. But yeah, I mean, you got that that whole middle section there that is. I remember listening to it and thought another, thinking another song started, and I'm like pulling back the cassette and looking. I was like, well, what's this song? And I'm like, well, this is the last song. I'm like, it's the same song, and then it kicks in another one. I'm like, what's going on here? It was, but it works. I mean,
Yeah.
it works, and then especially when it gets back into that riff, that groove towards the end, tying it back in. The interesting part to me though is that I think it, for as long a song it is, it ends suddenly.
I mean, it really does. It, I mean,
It's just like, all right, that's it. That's all I got.
yeah, I mean, it's not like it's just a short cut off, but I mean,
No,
yeah,
but
it just kind of, it doesn't really fade out, but it just kind of fades off, I guess.
yeah,
Even when they play it live, they don't really drag that ending out too much more.
no,
I mean, Bruce might do a couple of little howls there, but yeah, I think I think I would have maybe just kind of repeated something and let it fade out or something. But yeah, just kind of weird how they ended that.
yeah. That's just, I mean, that was always my take. Was like, man, this song's so long, and then all of a sudden, just boom, it's over. We're done. Um, but yeah, Power Slave. I mean, Maiden's got so many great albums. I mean, it's
Oh
hard.
yeah.
I mean, it's it's like us trying to rank the Kiss albums and stuff. It's so difficult, and it could change. Week after week, month after month.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah.
But Power Slave is definitely up there for me, and I think a lot of it has to tie into the fact of you know got this when it came out, was at the tour, so it kind of has a special place for me.
Right age, right time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They reissued it here last year, and
This one here.
yeah. So is yours just a standard copy, or did you get the Walmart exclusive?
Uh,
I mean, it's basically the same thing, except the Walmart exclusive came with a little hologram.
oh, you know what? I did get that, and
Yeah.
My son, who turns 23 today,
Yeah.
guess who his favorite band is?
Hopefully Maiden.
Maiden. So guess who got that?
Ah, okay.
So that's why I don't have it in here.
Yeah, it came with a nice little fold out booklet. It's got a little essay from Steve there on the front, and then
Yeah.
your inner sleeve image there on the back, and then it opens up to the lyrics.
Yeah, and a little nice little
And
hype sticker on there too.
yeah, yeah, you do the same thing. I put mine on the
Hey,
clear sleeves.
hey, where do you think I learned it from?
Touche, touche.
Yeah, what do they call it? The Zeotope or
Zoetrope.
Zoetrope?
I don't know how it's pronounced.
Yeah. I'm gonna slide in a little advertisement for this here too into the video that Maiden put out, so you can see it in action. It's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, I didn't realize you're not going to see it with the naked eye. I mean, you have to have your phone set on like a certain frame rate and sit there and watch it through your phone to be able to see it. This is the only one like that I own. But yeah,
I think there's a deal one like that too that
yeah, last in line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I threw it on the turntable and I'm sitting there watching and I'm like, it's just a blur.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds good though. Sounds good on there.
Yeah, they do good with picture disc these days. I
Yeah,
mean,
much better than the early days, that's for sure.
oh yeah, yeah. Some of them old Maiden picture discs that I had were just absolutely horrible.
Yeah. I don't ever throw any of the Kiss solo ones on the on the turntable at all. So
I don't think I've listened to any of mine either.
yeah. So well, yeah, that's all I have to show on there, unfortunately. Like there's a reissue. I can't remember which one I ordered. There was another reissue that I ordered that I was hoping to have for this show, but maybe if I get it in time before I post this thing, I'll edit it in there. But
Yeah,
all right.
I know they reissued it on picture discs in like the early 2010s, maybe 2008, somewhere close to there. They did a whole box set up to Seventh Son, I believe. And then they reissued everything on black vinyl, and then the
Yeah.
7-inch singles they did everything up to Seventh Son, I believe.
And you had quite a Iron Maiden vinyl collection, didn't you?
At one time, yeah, I got into collecting vinyl real hard, and when I collect an artist, I like to collect from their home country. So all of my Maiden stuff was UK. I,
Gotcha.
I'd hate to see how much I paid in shipping because most of it came from the UK. But yeah, the only thing I didn't have was the Soundhouse tapes. But you
Oh,
know, whatever format something was on, if it was on a 7-inch single and a 12-inch single and a picture disc, I got them all. Uh, but yeah, the Soundhouse tapes eluded me because I wanted to get my hand on a real copy, and you know, Southwest Missouri, that's probably not going to happen.
yeah, probably not. Well, I blame you for for all your posts on the Kiss sites and US Final Reference and all that for all these different variances and these little things. Now that I decided to do that with Y&T, and that's kind of where this channel started. So now I'm doing everything worldwide, everything I can get my hands on, any kind of variants, from the cover to the label to cassette, CDs, 8 tracks, all that. So did a video with In Rock We Trust, which was their most popular album. So that was long going through all those different variants. So I have you to blame for that.
What can I say? I only got 32 copies of Alive.
I know, right? But it's that fun part of collecting, though, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's fun when you, especially to the point where I'm at now. And I hate to sound like I'm bragging because I'm not, but you know
You can brag.
the stuff that I have left to find for the US is next to impossible to
Possible.
find.
Yeah.
So when I do find something, yeah, it is a huge adrenaline rush.
Yep.
I think the last thing I found, to getting kiss nerdy here, was a record club copy of The Elder.
Oh
That was
yeah, I remember
real
that.
high up on my list, and I
Yep.
mean, hell, I'm still on cloud nine about that, and that's been what 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so few and far between for me
Yeah.
now. It's you
Well, I
know,
spent 4 years looking for the debut Y&T album on 8 track and just found that a couple weeks ago. So,
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah, and I don't dare get into other formats.
You said
You
that
know,
about 45s too.
I did, I did, but I held fast. Oh, I've got a buddy up in Springfield, just an hour or so away from me, Tom Daniels. He is
Yep, Tom.
always
I know.
trying to put a bug in my ear about cassettes or 8 tracks, and I'm just like, nah, buddy, you got it. Uh, and he's got a world class collection of both of those. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
know. I see all his posts. So
yeah, there's people that do cassettes and 8 tracks better than I can, so
yep.
I'll stay out of that one. Uh, Vinyl's just something something clicks with me with vinyl. I
Yeah,
don't really relate to 8 tracks and cassettes too much.
Yeah, I'm only doing it with Y&T because their catalog is pretty much small enough to where it's feasible to, to get all of those. I wouldn't try it with Kiss. You kidding me?
Oh no.
No way. That's why I want, yeah, like kind of like you, just stick with the US stuff. And I've got a few, overseas stuff just from the 2014s, really. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it. And a few copies that I found on trips to like Australia and stuff that, I bought in record stores there. So, I'm gonna keep those. But all right, well, we're getting off on a whole Kiss tangent here.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
what any final words on Iron Maiden's Power Slave before we get out of here?
Like I said, man, I think it's their high water mark, really. I mean, you know, those first 5 albums, yeah, I had to count them in my head real quick. They were kind of innovative, those first 5 albums leading up, well, including Powerslave. I think they just kind of reached their zenith, as far as layering and songwriting and everything. And then everything after it, which I'm not saying is bad at all. Of course, I'm a Maiden fanboy, and they
Yeah.
have never done any wrong by me. But everything after that is kind of recycled in a way. You know, I mean, with me playing guitar, I can hear a Maiden riff, even if it ain't harmonized. I can figure out how they would harmonize it. They're just that predictable, and they kind of like certain keys to play in. You know, so it just seems kind of regurgitated over time. There's some songs that you can interchange parts with.
Yep.
And but I feel that Powerslave was kind of the top of the mountain, so to speak, and they just kind of been on a slow descent ever since.
Yep. And you talked about this, but if you like live albums, I mean, this is probably the best live album from the 80s.
Oh yeah, easily, easily.
And this thing's incredible. Scream for Me Long Beach.
13-minute version of Running Free.
Yeah, it's I had the VHS.
Yeah, yeah. I might still have the
Pour that
VHS.
sucker out. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I might still have it. I know I've got it on DVD
Yeah.
now when they reissued it for the history thing.
Yep.
But yeah, Live After Death, easily the best live album of the 80s.
Yeah, by far. All right, Mike, you got anything going on your channel these days?
Uh, I have been so bad about not doing episodes, man. I think I went for like 3 months without doing an episode, and then I just like popped in, did one on a Seether album that
Yeah,
I
I
got a
saw the
bunch of
Cedar one. Yeah, I
variations
was
in.
gonna say.
Then Ozzy fucking dies the next day. I'm like, all right, back under my rock I go.
Oh, jeez. Well, if you have any interest in Kiss vinyl, you need to check out Mike's Kiss US vinyl reference page because it is by far the most detailed showing of all the US Kiss vinyl variants that are out there. I mean, you will learn a lot. Trust me.
Mike was really bored when he started that. I was just coming off of a back injury, just sitting around the house all day going, what in the hell can I do? And then I was like, well, I could talk about all this crap. And that kind of carried me for a little bit. But
yeah, no, it did. I was one of those that was looking forward to them every week. So I do appreciate all that you put out there because it was definitely helpful, for me when, over the last, 10 years of, collecting
oh yeah,
Kiss vinyl. So I
yeah,
do appreciate it.
it does get confusing at times.
It can. I still have to go back and reference. I'm still, wait a minute, is this, no. Do I have this one? Do I not have this one? Can't remember anymore. So, all right. Anyway, starting to ramble here. So, Mike, I really appreciate you coming on, talking about
Yeah.
some Maiden. Powerslave. Check out Mike's channel right there. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe down below. Got some more Y&T coming up soon here, and along with some other great albums from this genre. So, till the next episode, see you later.